Clive, we're live on the ArchieLuxury channel. And
can I start off by saying something? I'm sorry.
Sure.
Sorry, the first video was a little bit late. I know we kept a lot of people on the comment stream waiting, but Archie was helping. I've actually had a little bit of a rough patch personally, and Archie was kind of helping me through it, and I appreciate the help.
No worries, that's cool.
Now, if someone else needs help with personal advice.
Personal advice, yes, that's exactly right. I'm available, $50 an hour. Actually, this weekend I've done quite a few. I've had a few people who've asked for advice, and I've been trying to. I had this 26-year-old guy who's met the girl of his dreams. Okay. He's been dating her for 4 years, and he wanted advice. And he also inherited $1 million from his parents. Okay, and you know what my advice was? Get a prenup. Get a prenup. Get a prenup. Get a prenup. And I also said, instead of going, because he doesn't really want to get married, and I said, you know, if you're scared of missing out, okay, you can marry her. But what you do is, I said to him, instead of getting married straight away, you give her the engagement ring and you stretch it out for a couple of years. See, you can give the ring.
Do the Barney Fife.
It's like the test drive. You get to see whether you can live together, without actually signing the paperwork. So I said to him, and he was saying, oh, she really had a heart set on a 2-carat diamond. I said, no. We go for 1/2 carat. If she doesn't like it, maybe she's not so perfect that you said to me she was so perfect. So we've set some tests up, and we'll see how she responds. Today, Clive, less.
Oh, also, nothing that is
sorry. Go on.
Nothing on this channel should be construed as the giving of legal advice. You should always consult a legal professional trained and licensed in your area. There can be a lot of difference in what applies in one jurisdiction may not go in another. However, that said, as a general rule, do not commingle marital and separate funds. Generally, and this is not construed as legal advice, an inheritance is a separate fund, is a separate assets. So get a bank account for the inheritance or the gift from relatives. Keep it separate. Don't mix in wages with it. Don't mix in anything else that is acquired during the course of the marriage. But then again, you know, if you hired $1 million, pay an effing attorney. Seriously.
Yes, that's exactly right. Now, Clive, today we're talking. So remember, man cannot live on Google Ads. I depend on paid reviews, and I give advice. I just got to confess. Can I make a confession to you? As we speak now, I am actually uploading a video. I have done something very, very special for my audience, Clive.
And what is that? Pray tell.
Okay. You know, soppy romantic cards and poetry, right?
Right.
We hate to do it. Blokes hate to do that, don't we? We hate it. We hate it. We hate it. It's just anti-bloke matter, right? So I've actually done all the hard work for you. You can buy some letters, soppy letters and poetry that I've already written, and you can use it. So this is a systemized approach. We've got the first date letter, the second date letter. We've got all these letters already done for you. So I'm selling them as a package.
Nice. How much would that cost, and where would people find these?
Yes, these are very, very reasonably priced there. I've got a video coming up. I'm just uploading it now. And I think it's about $30 to $40 US. ArchieLuxury, the dating coach, love letters and poems already written for you. So there you go, guys. That's the best thing I can do for you. So it's going to be uploaded very soon, okay? Very, very soon. The dating coach is speaking. Now, speaking of other coaching, let's have a talk about collecting, watch collecting. Can I tell you this? One thing I find very, very refreshing is that I went to a function a week or two ago, and something that is happening now is that so many people now are having smaller collections. Smaller collections. And I gotta tell you, I really do think that the smaller collection maybe is the way to go. It really makes sense to me, because less is more. It makes, if you've got a collection where you just add shit to it, this, yeah. But if you've had to think about it, and you buy and sell, and you do a little bit of horse trading, and you think about what really makes you happy, what floats your boat, I think that's a very, very cool way to be. I think that is cooler. That is cooler to do a collection that way. And I've got to be honest with you there and say that in my own collecting world there, I found it more enjoyable to set some rules. Set some rules. And look at these five pieces here, Clive. Look at this collection here. You would say it's unbalanced, or it's this, or it's that. But look at this collection here. There's my Holy Grail in yellow gold, my Reverso, my Speedy, my Ingy, and my Explorer 2 Polar. Look at that collection. You can see the love and the thought that's gone into this collection. And this photo was taken before I got the Bregster. Clive, yeah. Clive, you need to sell a few pieces off. It makes you more happy when you can let go. When you can let go of what you got, you can feel fulfilled. It's like these collections we've looked at, 3 or 4 pieces, and they just pop. They just pop. I think this level of enlightenment can only occur once you have chosen the right ways to go. Does that make sense, Clive?
Yes. It does.
Do you have any comment on that, Clive?
On the other hand, happiness is in the direction, not the destination. And all of us have to take a journey. And there's always going to be missteps along any journey. There's always going to be missteps and miscalculations. No one's going to get it perfectly, but the only people that fail are the people who never get off the couch in the first place.
But what I'm saying is, in your case, if we did a little bit of trimming there around the edges, we would have money to buy that Pepsi you've always wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And Clive, we'd also be able to give Garbage Fire something special.
Let's back out of that last one. Back out of that last statement. Okay?
I'm joking with you, Clyde. Seriously, I kind of think in my own collecting world there, I've actually turned a corner, okay? Let me explain it to you. I love my watches, right?
Right.
I love them, but I've actually got more. I've decided now, I told you I was going to get the Omega Speedmaster Mark II vintage.
Right.
I changed my mind. I told the guy who was selling, I said, I've actually changed my mind. I don't think I really want it now. Instead of adding a Rolex to my collection, my rules are simple. 1 brand per watch.
So flip the Polar 2 and get a real Rolex.
No, the Polar is not selling because this is, again, the guy who I did the Hublot for, Mark Pfister, right?
Right.
He said, oh, should he sell the Hublot? And he said he really likes it. Well, that's who he's bought it for. He bought it for himself. He didn't buy it to please me. And I got to tell you, the Polar Explorer 2 really means a lot to me. When I was on hard times, Clyde, I actually sold my sub, no problems, but I really felt sad when I had to sell my Explorer 2. Does that make sense? I didn't mind selling the sub.
So it was traumatic.
Oh, yeah, I had career depression. It was all bad.
Well, I've got another white dial watch.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Zenith.
You haven't bought that yet, but
I'm thinking about it. I sure am thinking about it.
look, I'm not trying to criticize you. You seem to get a lot of fun out of these vintage things. Just 1 minute. I'll put the screen on for you. Step it back a bit. It's not focusing. Step it. Do it. Yeah, that's like it's. Yeah. Okay. This is a Zenith military watch.
Yep. And it is actually an antique.
Over 100 years old.
Well, 800 years old. And basically, you can see on the dial, Zenith is right above the second ham at 6, but right below the 12 is Signal Corps.
I see.
Silver porcelain dial, and it is the first American military wristwatch ever. The American Expeditionary Force commissioned Zenith to do the wristwatches because they started to figure out that not just military, Signal Corps officers and the first American pilots to go to war, end all wars, probably not a good idea for them to take their hands off the stick and dig around in their vest for their pocket watch.
Amazing, Clive.
So, it really, really is. And it's really held up well. You know, some of the lumas come off some of the numbers, but overall the dial for the age is just incredible. Incredible. Also, and I don't know how well this will hold up.
Clive, we're supposed to be trimming your collection back, not buying more. Clive, we're trying to be trimming your collection back, but I got to tell you, Clive, I really get a lot of enjoyment now that my collection, it's almost complete, I think. My collection is almost, all I want to add, I tell you honestly, you know something, Clive?
What's that?
And who's the guy who painted the Sistine Chapel? What was his name? Michelangelo. When Michelangelo painted the Sistine Chapel, they actually made mistakes in the paintings. Did you know that? Because they felt that if that was perfect, that was upsetting God. So they had to make mistakes. In my collection, I got to get a diver. I want to get a diver, but I'm not rushing out to get it. I can get it later on. You understand? I don't need to have everything now. I can get it later. Does that make sense, Clive, or not?
Yes, it does.
Later. I can get it later.
That's assuming it's currently in production or recently out of production.
Well, there's so many things I could buy. I could get a PAM. I could get a Breitling Super Ocean Heritage. I want them to come down a bit. They're a bit expensive considering it's just an ETA. Guys, you really have to. I really get a lot of enjoyment. Less is more. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, I understand the fundamental concept of it. Yes. So this is basically an intervention, isn't it?
Well, Clive, how many watches do you have now? Tell me how many you've got.
Honestly, golly, that'll take a while. That'll take a while. Then again, Okies, we can be obsessive when it comes to collecting. If you have any doubts, look up J.M. Davis Gun Museum, Tahlequah, Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Oh, hell no, it's not Tahlequah. It's right by Tulsa. Well, Tulsa, Oklahoma would pick it up anyway.
I see. And what did he do?
He was a town founder of the small town. Man, the name of the town escapes me just off the tip of my tongue. But kind of influential person there. Had a hotel. He ran for politics, mayor a couple of times, and he just loved old firearms.
Yeah.
Yeah. And actually, he had probably the most extensive firearms collection in the free world.
I see. Then what happened then?
Well, he died. He willed his gun collection over, and he was buried on the grounds of the museum. The state legislature had to pass a special act to put him there. So in a sense, he did take them with him, or they took him with them, depending on that.
He's never left his hobby.
He what?
He never left the hobby.
Exactly.
So how long ago did he die?
70s, I believe, early 70s.
Wow, that's a great story, Clive. Are you a gun person yourself?
I've fired them before in the Army, but no, not really. I like military firearms, yes, but impractical.
I see. Does it worry you that you could accidentally die from a weapon with guns are so readily available and free? And
no, they're not free. But on the other hand, like I said, just again going to the antique fair again this weekend, it's just like I could pick up an AR-15 with a scope for $500.
In my country, we're a nanny state, and they've taken them all off us. All our firearms have been taken off.
How many mass shootings? Yeah, because it was a result of a particularly heinous mass shooting, like in the 70s or 80s, right?
In the 90s, actually.
In the 90s. How many mass shootings have they had since then?
I don't know what you're saying, but go on.
They haven't had any mass shootings since they took away the gun.
No. Is that a good thing?
Not having mass shootings, I'd say, is a very good thing.
So maybe it worked then, hey?
I would say so, yeah. Also, love Jim Jeffries. He's an Australian. He's actually a really funny guy, and he comes over here and does a lot of it. He's had a couple of TV series, had a lot of specials.
Wow.
Oklahoma's the south of the Midwest. No, we're the Southwest. Southwest. Cowboy hats, steers, Trail of Tears,
trailers,
yeah.
So, Clive, what I'm saying to you is, I think you'd be so happy if you just had under 10 watches, 10 watches. Would you do that?
I'd have to think carefully about which 10.
Look, it's not for me to say. If you enjoy your watches, you buy as many as you want. You want to buy them? How many expensive
I could start
Rolexes?
collecting hats. Hats would be a good place to start. Take off.
Did you have that hat when you had your Pontiac?
No, I didn't. Yeah, I got it. I got it once I started appearing on the show.
Okay.
Just to show my devotion to the pontiff.
Hey, that's fantastic.
How else can you demonstrate you're a real ArchieLuxury fan?
You can send me $250. That was a very, very kind gesture.
Sorry, how else can we demonstrate our loyalty to the...
Clive, It's been a great talking. What do you think of having less watches? Tell me truthfully. I mean, okay, ignoring yourself. I'm not trying to force you into anything. You're a free man.
No, and the thing is, you can tell when someone goes in with a plan, a very careful and deliberate plan, and they have thought long term.
Does that please you more when you see a collection that's well thought out, or how do you handle that? Does that?
Yeah, actually I look at, like I said, Mark Pfister, respect us. I was thinking, you know, he may have just be the luckiest sucker on the face of the earth, or he put a lot of thought into it and took very slow, deliberate steps. So I look at that and I thought, well, that guy has got his stuff together.
Yes, I love that collection, 4 pieces, but it's actually more. It does more than my collection does. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that means a lot. I got to be honest with you. I look at some of these collections, and we're all looking for happiness, aren't we? That's what we're looking for. We are all looking for happiness in life.
We're all looking for happiness, and to a sense, we're all trying to discover ourselves. Because sometimes you're going to make mistakes along the way. Sometimes you really don't know what you like until you try it.
Yes, it's like cheese.
It causes Alzheimer's?
Clive, I got to tell you, out of all the collections we've done, what do you love about a collection? Tell me what you look at a collection and it pops. What makes a collection pop? Let's give some pointers. What do you think?
It's carefully cultivated. Like I said, thought has gone into it. Thought has gone into it from the front end. You can tell when someone goes in and they're just buying willy-nilly. C'est moi.
Having a look at my collection here on the screen, I haven't got the Breguet in that shot, but is that a well thought out collection? I'm not looking for compliments. Just tell me truthfully. I know you think the Patek is super too heavy as a Grail piece.
Well, see, that takes the fun out of it, because I know you, and so I know how you came to that collection.
Oh, I see. Because I think I've put a lot of effort. I tell you honestly, no bullshit. I think my collection, I have spent hours, hundreds of hours, thinking about this or that, agonizing over which piece to add, which piece to cull. And I'm finally starting to be happy, Clive.
No, that's good, because someone might say, in looking at all the watches you've traded and sold and over the years, some people could say that you flipped till you flopped.
Yep.
You flipped until you found pieces that you can flip out of, and then you accidentally
no, Clyde, that's not true, because how would I get out of the IWC? You already know that's unsaleable.
It's unsellable, but on the, well, okay, that I have to argue against myself, because what you're saying is that the accountant or someone has offered to take it off your hands, or more or less.
That's only one buyer. That's only one buyer, Clive.
Yeah.
I go out to a worldwide market. I haven't exactly been swamped with offers, Clive. Let's just say that.
Well, and like I said, in this case, the pro of Rolex can also be the con of Rolex. In other words, the pro is that they're easy to flip.
I got to be honest with
you. They're easy to flip.
I got to be honest with you. I love looking at a collection. Some of these collections we've looked at, I enjoyed those Singaporean collections. You know, they had the AP, they had a couple of Rolex, they had an Omega. I got to tell you, 4 or 5 pieces, I think, is the perfect number for a compact collection. Well, I mean, the most compact collection is 1, but right. I honestly think 4 or 5 pieces. Some of these people have really put thought into it, and they've got lovely collections.
Let me give you a quick question.
Sure.
Let's just say someone breaks. You have the worst day ever. Someone breaks in the house, and then the bank vault floods.
Yes.
So you get a check from the insurance company from your house. Mm-hmm. You get a cashier's check from the bank's insurance company for the watches in the vault.
Yep.
If let's just assume you pay off bills, buy a house, move, immigrate to Bangers or whatnot. You're limited to one watch. Knowing what you know now, being on the experience, the journey that you've experienced all this time, what watch would that be?
Okie dokie. That's a very, 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 very interesting question. How much money did I have? Because it would depend how much money I had. Because
you got the.
Do we have 100,000? Do we have 10,000? Do we have? We can buy one steel watch, because it's so much about the money. You know what I mean?
Right, right. But now let's make it. I mean, like I said, okay. Well, and what watch and why? Let's assume you got out of the watches what you paid into them.
Yep.
You know, those greedy, vicious accountants and insurance adjusters.
Yes, I understand. Okay. One watch. Okay. One watch for me, right? Say, for example, I had money, but I needed that money to fund my life because
Google Ads
died, and let's just pretend, okay? Okay, so let's say
Papa Pluto threatens an intervention and gets a guardianship on you and is starting to spend all your money in the bank.
Okay, so if you had only one watch, right, it would have to have a few criteria, okay? If you've got the luxury of a few watches, you can, I think, to be honest with you, if you're only having one watch, you really want it to be waterproof.
Right.
You would want it in steel because it's very, very durable.
Mm-hmm.
You'd also want it on a bracelet.
But with the ability to put it on a strap if necessary.
Oh, of course, of course. I would say if I had to pick one watch now, right? I would say I'll give you a few choices. Do you want a few?
No, I just want one.
Two-tone bluesy.
And why?
Well, it's because that watch is something I've always loved. I think it is so damn cool. I'm not even sure. Okay, I would probably say two-tone bluesy. I would probably go ceramic, okay, because they're not much cheaper. A really nice pre-ceramic is not much cheaper than a current ceramic. Mm-hmm. My eyesight is going in the shitter as I age, so those maxi dials are actually quite useful now that I'm getting old and my eyes are. That could be the diabetes kicking in, okay? And I got to tell you, there is a bit of liberation in just having one watch because you don't have to store I used to eternally worry about theft. What happens if they're stolen? Are they in the bank? Are they this? Are they that? You're never, ever happy. When you've just got one, is it on your wrist or it's not? That's it. Simple, 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 simple.
If it's
I
on
got
the
to
wrist,
tell you,
yes.
The two-tone bluesy is waterproof. It's a great everyday watch because it's classy. You could wear that to any event. I think the two-tone bluesy is the greatest watch of all time. Okay, I honestly say that. It's not the best movement. It's not the most expensive. Even the gold sub I had, right? For as much as I really did love that gold sub, I got to tell you honestly, it was useless, okay? It was useless because it was really just a glorified dress watch. Whereas a two-tone bluesy is so a two-tone bluesy is everything. You can wear that to business. It's an ideal brothel watch because the whole point of a brothel watch is when you take the shower, you don't want to take it off because that's when they pinch it. So you can wear it when you go to a brothel because you can wear it in the shower. You can also use it as a timer to make sure they give you your true 30 minutes of service. It's just such a wonderful watch. It looks impressive. The combo of blue and yellow with a bit of steel is just... I actually said to this woman I was dating, I said to her, what do you like best? I had my gold sub and I had a two-tone bluesy. You know what she said she preferred?
What's that?
The two-tone. I was surprised. I thought, wow. So you've got to, hello, Clive. Hello, Clive. Do we have contact? We've lost Clive. We've lost our good friend Clive. But I got to tell you, the two-tone bluesy, Clive, that watch is, it ticks all the boxes. It's a Rolex. It's a dress watch. It's a sports watch. It's a diver. Man, that ticks so many boxes. It's not funny. I think if I could only have one two-tone bluesy, you could do a lot worse than a two-tone bluesy.
Right.
That is the most perfect watch there is, two-tone bluesy. And I got to tell you, I love that watch. I really do love the two-tone bluesy. I really do. I think that watch is just perfect. Two-tone bluesy. 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 I mean, it's a luxury watch. I think it's just so cool. It's so cool. What would you pick as a one watch if you had to have one watch? What would you pick, Clive? Tell me this. Tell me this, Clive.
Probably the Yachtmaster.
That's the two-tone Yachtmaster.
Blue dial. Yachtmaster in red. 2011. Solid inlinks. Yeah.
That is a beautiful piece. That is a very beautiful piece. And considering how you got it, I got to tell you, that is a gorgeous piece. That's a bargain. That was a steal. Any cheaper and you'd be standing trial. You'd have to represent yourself. You know, that any cheaper, you'd have to represent yourself. But I got to tell you, Clive, I really get enjoyment out of less now. I've stopped becoming a hoarder. When I actually started selling off some of my collections, not only did I pay a lot of debt off, but it's actually made me a lot more happier as a person. I think I'm happier. I'm happier. Clive, do you want to do one more live show with me?
Yeah, give me about 10 minutes.
Okay, you tell me when you're ready, okay? One more live show, okay? It's a review. I'm not going to tell you what sort of review, but this is a paid review. So, yes, this is for Carlos, okay?
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.